You're listening to a Cult Talk Network podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to Cult of Campbell.
Hello.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. This is our Valentine's Day episode, and you're spending it, of course, with Ty
and Eric. Lucky you.
Lucky you. This is a date you won't forget.
Absolutely not. Because
we're reviewing a weird one.
Yes.
A very weird one. And a weird way we have to go about reviewing this, and we'll get into that. But
yeah.
We're taking a look at the Ted Raimi starring picture. Starring. Ted Raimi front and center in this one.
Absolutely.
This is Lunatics, a love story.
A love story made in 1991.
It's interesting. I was reading about this. Released in 91, filmed in 89.
Is that right?
Yeah,
really?
It took 2 years for this thing to get out.
Took 2 years. Well, relatable.
Yeah. If even.
Can relate. Yeah. Wow, I wonder what their delay was.
I don't know. Not sure on that.
Yeah. Boy, this was written and directed by the same guy. I just noticed that. That's, I've found that's not usually a good sign.
No, do you know who this guy?
That?
Do you recognize this guy's name?
Josh Becker looks really familiar. Josh Becker. So he did. I'm clicking on him because he did something. Collaborations.
He's not new to the Cult of Campbell.
He's been in Xena Warrior Princess, or written or directed. Okay.
Right.
Okay. What else we got here?
Oh, he's done something else.
Oh, this is super familiar. What is it? It's something we've done recently, isn't it?
Not recently.
No.
But it is a Cult of Campbell episode.
Famous or infamous? The Evil Dead? 81?
Yeah,
not director. He wasn't.
He's one of the
lighting and stuff.
movies.
Oh, cool. Okay.
He is the writer-director of Alien Apocalypse.
No!
Yeah.
Kidding. Really?
Yeah, he did Alien Apocalypse.
Oh, there it is. I see it now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
he's from Alien Apocalypse.
I'll be darned. I knew that looked familiar. Did he? Yes, he did. He directed it and he wrote it.
Yeah, right there, baby. Right there.
Oh,
He's one of the boys. He's one of the boys.
One of the crew. One of the under talked about in that whole group. We don't talk about him a lot at all, do we?
No, we don't. This is the first time we've ever talked about, or not first time ever, obviously, but this is only the second time we've talked about Mr. Josh Becker. So
I'll be darned.
But he's one of the boys.
Wow, one of the boys. I'll be darned.
One of the boys. Here he is again. We're getting to look at him in one of his early fares. This is what, like 13, 14 years before Alien Apocalypse.
Oh yeah.
So this right here is one of the Raimi family movies. It's got Ted in the starring role. Bruce, I believe, has a hand in the making as well. Right?
So he was a producer along with Sam Raimi and Robert Tappert. Rip. So there's Rip.
Rip.
Yep. The whole crew was in on this one.
The whole gang supporting Ted here in his big starring role.
Oh yeah. Yes, because he was starring alongside Deborah Foreman, who is she's retired now. She actually didn't have a very long career, but she was a scream queen back in the day.
Really?
So yeah, it didn't look like she just recently I saw did like where is it? 2020 in 2020 she did a cameo in Shop Girl, but before that she hadn't done anything since 2007. And before that it had been a while. A little bit of TV stuff, I guess, in the 90s, but not too much later on. She had a lot more in the 80s, it looks like.
Okay, she's one of the 80s scream queens. So that's interesting. I've never heard of her until this.
Yeah.
This is my first introduction to her. So yeah, of course it's got Ted, it's got her, and then the reason we're here, it also stars Bruce Campbell. And not one, but two roles.
He had two roles.
Yeah, he's not only is he Nancy's douchey boyfriend,
right?
He is also the brain surgeon that's terrorizing Ray.
No way! How did I not catch that?
Well, he wears a mask the whole time.
Oh,
he wears a surgeon's mask.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know.
And then also, which we'll get into, you can't hear his distinctive voice in the way we had to watch this.
No, you can't.
I guess we'll just go ahead and talk about
we'll come forward.
So the reason this is going to be a very odd episode, it's a Valentine's Day episode with me and Eric. We're talking to you guys here on Valentine's Day. You know, maybe you're you have your significant other over, you got some candles lit, you got a nice dinner laid out, and over the sound system you have us just serenading you
over
Valentine's
your romantic dinner, or
and
maybe when you curl up by the fire later
with your heart-shaped Domino's pizza.
There you go. Ooh, now that's romantic.
Your Walmart candles lit. But here, this is weird because Lunatics, a love story, is nigh impossible to fucking find.
Yes. We had a really difficult time finding it. And by we, I mean Tyler.
Well, I knew I was looking at the schedule. Valentine's Day landed on Monday. Monday's called a Campbell Day. I was like, well, we have to do a Valentine's Day movie.
Yep. And as stunning as he is, Bruce hasn't done very much in the way of romance.
No. There's a couple. There's like this one really bad one I've heard about that he makes fun of a lot. And My Name is Bruce. It's Serving Sarah. It's him and Matthew Perry from Friends.
Okay. Yep.
He's in that. He's like he's the douchey antagonist in that one, which I guess maybe is kind of indicative of this as well.
Yeah.
And then the other option was, I think that was it. I think it was just that or this.
Yeah.
And this one seemed more interesting because it has, Ted Raimi in it.
Right. As well as the Raimi boys.
We all love Ted.
Strewn throughout it too. Just not directing this time, but I'm sure they had a hand in it because there was some slapstickiness to it that I tend to attribute to the Raimis.
There was.
So the weird thing about this is, when what we were able to find was a version of this dubbed over in Spanish.
Yeah, so the only options we had to find this movie, it's not available on any streaming service, only available on DVD in Australia.
So, which is not where we are.
Nope, we're not there, and it would have taken way too long to get it shipped here and probably cost way too much.
Yeah.
And the other option we found was some godsend Campbellite out there had uploaded the thing to YouTube 11 years ago, I believe.
God love them.
To YouTube, unfortunately, all in Spanish. We had to kind of finagle this review a little bit. We're going to be transparent here. Transparent.
Totally transparent.
We had to watch a couple reviews. And I'll shout out those reviewers because they helped us out a lot here.
Big time. I sat and watched that whole movie straight through in Spanish without any prior context, and it was wonderful, wonderfully confusing. But actually, you know what? I got a pretty good feel for what was going on-ish, although there are some tidbits along the way that I'm like, oh, so that's what was happening. So those reviews are a godsend.
The reviewer I watched was a reviewer by the name of Dumbed Down. He's on YouTube. Looks like he uploaded this video a year ago. He only has 691 subscribers, so if any of the Campbellites want to go over and give him some support, that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
He
do it.
Yeah, he really saved our asses here by having this review up because he filled in a lot of the blanks that I'm going to be able to help Eric out with here because Eric did watch the whole thing.
I did.
Without context.
No context.
All in Spanish.
In Spanish.
I went through and watched, I skimmed it. I skimmed
you watched the
scenes that had Bruce. Yep. Yeah, I skimmed the ones that had Bruce, and it was a little weird seeing Bruce but not hearing Bruce.
Yeah, it was.
Because you totally missed the surgeon. So
yeah, I had no idea he was a surgeon in there, so I couldn't hear. Yeah, maybe if we had his voice, we could have heard. Maybe I would have picked it up, but I definitely didn't.
And let's go ahead and let's try to break this movie down a little bit, or at least the best we can for Campbellites here on this this groovy Valentine's Day.
I like a challenge on Valentine's Day.
Let's go ahead and let's get groovy.
Grab your boomstick and fire up the Delta. It's time for ACTION. Join the cult of Campbell. Groovy.
And if you're lucky a little later, I'll let you play with my boomstick.
right. So this was
Buckle up, baby.
Buckle up.
We're gonna give this the old college try.
Yeah. So it opens up. I think it just opens up with some rather boring credits, first of all, from what I can remember. See where I'm starting? I'm like, yeah, so the credits.
Well, first, just so we're clear, this is both our first time watching it, correct?
It is.
We're gonna clear that out of here. I've never even heard of this movie up until we started, doing the Campbell stuff. And the funny thing I like about this here in 2022 we're in now is last year we kind of covered all the hits. We nailed the Evil Dead series. My Name is Bruce, Bubba Hotep. We got all the hits, all the staples of the Bruce filmography. We nailed those.
Yes.
And here in 2022, we're left with all these really obscure movies that maybe a lot of people haven't heard of. We kicked off the year with Assault on Dome 4. We got Lunatics: A Love Story.
Yeah.
We've got Blaze of Glory coming out here in a couple weeks. So, I mean, we're hitting all these. It's very interesting contrast to last year, but it's also really cool because now we're getting to introduce ourselves and our audience to these movies they may not have ever heard of.
Right. The less known, the less diehard fans wouldn't have heard of a lot of these that we're finding. Like this one wasn't on my radar at all. Not that I'm a good barometer for that. And it's interesting. Sometimes I'm not sure if you have seen the movie before or not, because honestly, a lot of the times, and I'm sure the listeners must have picked up on this by now, Eric often goes into these movies without any context. Eric doesn't usually know what he's in for. Ty likes to get reactions out of the people that haven't seen the movie yet, you know what I mean, and get it fresh, witness the absurdity. So it is actually a little comforting to know that this is your introduction to this love story as well.
Yeah. And it's an introduction.
It's an introduction. Yes, it is.
So we kick off with, as you said, some very boring credits here.
Yeah.
We meet our main protagonist, played by Ted Raimi, who I found it weird. I watched the trailer for this. They call Theodore Raimi.
Yeah, they do in the credits.
Never heard of. Yeah, I've never just called him Theodore. It's always Ted.
Yeah,
Theodore Raimi.
What I'm assuming is that we start to get to know him within the first few minutes of the film, which he doesn't show up. It's all these random people that live in this apartment complex, and they're like it looks like they're chit-chatting as they're getting their mail, and the mail lady's dropping it off. Yep. And they check one mailbox and it's just chock full of mail. They must have established then how long he's been secluded in his apartment.
Yep. So for 6 months, he has not left his apartment.
Not left his apartment at all. He's clearly a recluse when we do meet him. I'm assuming that I was learning all sorts of stuff about him in Spanish from these neighbors as they were talking, just from now, you know what I mean? But then we cut to him. So I almost wonder if it was a wasted scene, because we cut to him. And that's where we meet him. They kind of he's got I don't know how much of his scenes you saw, but his apartment is covered in tin foil on the walls, and he's got 5 locks on his front door. And it's quickly apparent that he's seeing shit. I think it opens up with spiders crawling on his brain.
I believe so. Yeah,
I think that's the first I think that's his first scene.
That's one of the things they like to use here is this, and it's really cool. It's a really cool effect. It's this brain with these stop motion spiders.
Yeah,
and it's very trippy the way they animate it too.
Yeah,
the spiders
popping
bursting from his brain or crawling all over it.
Ugh,
and that's the way they kind of establish that he's got he's fucking insane. And this is also our introduction to our first appearance of Bruce, which you wouldn't know unless you heard his voice.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a tight shot on the brain, all the spiders. All of a sudden you see a light open up, and Bruce, or surgeon, comes down with a scalpel and slices open Ted's brain. Ted shakes his way out of it and just slams his head against the wall.
Yep, that's how because he's awake. He's not dreaming. He does. That's how he fixed it that first time. I was oh, at first I thought that's just how he could fix it, but it doesn't always happen like that. But that was pretty funny. He immediately starts going into the Three Stooges stuff. I fucking love it. I think Ted kind of shined in this movie. Not gonna lie. From what I can tell.
yeah.
He got to do a lot of lot of the slapstick humor and stuff like that he's really good at. So, man, we just kind of find out. I'm like watching his life, get introduced to us and shit as we go along. And it's just like all the stuff that he's got set up is for a reason. Cause he like has to, it's almost like he's plugging holes in his mind. Like all that tinfoil's up because kind of, anytime you like peel something back, things start popping out of the wall, whether it's a spider or a surgeon or something. Can't go out that door. I think he tries. He starts.
There's like surgeons out there, right? There's like a whole there's medical staff out there when he peeks out.
He's hearing like voices and stuff. I think he probably sees. He was seeing. I was a little like, what the fuck through this, but yeah, there were like doctors and stuff like this, like popping out in different places, and so it kind of explains to me why his apartment is set up that way, because that's how he's seeing shit playing out. So I kind of thought he was he's just like described as being paranoid, right? But it's like full blown hallucinations. And this makes for a very lonely life for him.
It is, yeah. I don't know if they ever really go into why he is like a recluse.
Beats me if they do.
Yeah,
that might. Yeah, they might have explained that in the mail scene. I might have all the neighbors talking about him.
They may. I mean, but he's definitely. It just sucks that we don't have more info on this movie, because it did, from what I've seen of it. The review I watched and the out of context Spanish dub we had to watch, it seems like it's a pretty fun movie.
Yeah, it's almost like they were kind of trying to make it the Bruce and Cabin stuff from Evil Dead 2 with Ted Raimi. Like it's like a Tedded up version of that almost. Yeah, that's what it felt like watching it.
A couple times we were watching. I was watching it, and I was like, man, I wonder why Bruce wasn't just the star of this, because it just seemed like a role that maybe at one point was.
Oh like he could have done this role really well. It looks like,
but it was around '89. That was when like Bruce was really working. Like that's when. That's like the Evil Dead 2 came out, then like he started doing like the Maniac Cop and
right. And at this point, he had enough money to
come out in '89.
He had enough money to produce it. You know what I mean? So he that's kind of, I saw like that he produced it, and I was like, oh, he's doing pretty well by this point.
Yeah,
they had a budget of $650,000.
It makes
not
sense,
bad for the time. Yeah,
they did use it. They did use it pretty well with just like keeping it in one location, and
which I thought that actually worked out really well. Like,
oh, it did.
I was about to give credit to Raimi for directing it, but it wasn't him. Becker did good.
No,
he learned
Josh
well
Becker.
from Raimi, maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. Yeah. I'm sure he learned from which I seem like a lot. It seems like these guys, they all just like kind of one has a skill, the other one kind of learns from it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
it seems like
help each other out, support each other, and teach each other what they learn.
Just a cool group of guys. Like,
I know.
Honestly, it's they are just a cool fucking group of people.
I would have loved to be like as in the 80s with a friend group like that. That would, or 70s, really. That's where they started. Yeah. Give me my teen years in the 70s with that friend group. That'd be awesome. Anyway,
just, they do a lot of shit together, and not much of it's bad. That's the thing. It's all usually pretty quality shit that they put out.
It certainly got to that,
if not weird.
Yeah. But. So that's our lunatic, I think. Or, well, it's lunatics plural. Maybe we can meet our other lunatic.
So our other lunatic is Nancy. And who's the actress that plays her?
Deborah Foreman.
She is just moved to L.A. I got that from it. She just moved to L.A.
Okay.
With her boyfriend.
Ray, also known as Bruce Campbell.
Played by Bruce Campbell, playing a douchey, non-supportive asshole boyfriend. So she moved to LA because of Ray. Is Ray? I don't know if he was an actor or what, but she moved to LA for Ray.
She moved there for him. Okay.
Yeah, with him. Yeah, like he wanted to come to LA, so she came with.
Because she wanted to stay with him.
Yeah, just to stay with him, and he tells, because I watched the review I watched. Luckily, had this like kind of scene in there. I had the clip of the scene in English. So
nice.
Basically, she comes back to the hotel. They're staying like a motel, like a really small hotel.
Yes.
She comes home back to the hotel. The hotel manager is like, "Hey, where's the rent at?" or whatever.
Okay.
And he's like, "Oh, I'll go ask Ray." Or whatever. She goes upstairs. Ray's there, and he's like getting all getting all looked up and getting all ready, and he basically just tells her like, "Hey, we're through." He's look at you, look at me. There's no reason for us to be together. He's like, "We're here in L.A." He's sick of her poetry because that's another thing. She's a poet.
Oh, she's a poet?
She is a poet as well.
Oh, they're both?
They're both poets.
Oh, my God. Okay, cool. All right, got it.
So he tells her, like, I had to listen to your poetry for 5 days in the car. He's like, luckily I didn't leave you out in the desert.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
wow.
he's just like, he's like, I'm done. He's like, hit the streets. And he basically throws her out.
Wow.
And basically he leaves.
Her. Yeah, he takes off with some chick. He like took the money out of her wallet and leaves with a chick.
Yeah, so she gets kicked out of the apartment. That's what happens. Yeah, because she comes back down. And the guy's like, "Where's the money?" She's like, "I don't have it." And he's like, "Sorry about your luck. Get the hell out of my apartment complex."
Wow,
or my hotel.
It's just her and this. I was really invested in the potted plant arc of this story. Yeah, because I was trying to figure that out. Like right before she goes to the hotel room with Ray. She sees this potted plant in a garbage bag and picks it up. And then she sees a dog. And she goes,
oh, my God. Yeah, the dog.
She goes to pet the dog, and it's like, nah. And it steps out into the road and gets run over by something. So she's like got the worst luck when it comes to caring for things. So I think it's just... So to me, it's like she's like feels like everything she touches goes to shit. So she has this like potted plant throughout the movie that she just clings to and tries to like it. It's a very subplot. Like it became a really big deal to me watching this movie and not understanding anything I was hearing. But I was happy to see how things turned out for the plant overall. I think that was a great arc. But so she's got her plant and she's on the street. No Ray. No place to go.
Nope. She's all alone.
All alone. We kind of, I think before she gets into like the really bad stuff, we kind of established that Hank looks like he's using sex lines and fantasizing about billboard women at his apartment.
He's just super fucking lonely. He's super lonely and he's just, I guess, just itching for human contact of any kind, but he doesn't want to leave his hotel or leave his apartment. I mean,
right?
In order to pursue it.
Yeah. So he's like I see him try some hotlines and give up. I don't know what happens there. And then they just cut to this really weird scene with the billboard. And I was like, surely they're not going to like have him sit here and masturbate to this fucking thing. And he like fantasizes. There's like an actress that comes in and it kind of gets a little weird. Some close-ups of a Three Stooges faced Ted Raimi getting horny is not. I was just like, oh God, oh no, please no. Thankfully, he snaps out of it relatively quickly.
If they would have asked Ted, he would have.
Oh yeah,
that's the thing.
He looked like he was enjoying himself.
we know Ted.
He'll just do anything.
We'll do anything.
Yeah.
So
he will. He won't tell them no.
If they would have asked, he probably would have. Like, all right, that's in the script.
Okay, if you say so. So that was interesting. So it was slapping me in the face that he wants out, he just can't get out, and he's very lonely.
Poor guy.
That's pretty much he's stuck in his apartment there, feeling those feels.
So Nancy is now on the streets of LA.
Yep.
All by herself. No Ray, no one.
No one. Just her
and her potted plant.
Yep, her potted plant.
And she runs into a very 1980s
leather coat wearing.
Yep. Minority street gang.
Yep.
Who accost her, and I don't know really what their intentions were. The review I watched didn't really go into that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But it didn't look good. She was surrounded.
It didn't.
The dude had a gun tucked into the front of his pants, which was pretty slick actually. She pulls that gun out and shoots him in the foot when he's stepping up to her.
Yeah.
She's just like, nope.
Yeah, she wasn't having his shit today.
Nope, not having none of that.
She had finally had enough, I would say.
I think so. She's got a gun now, and she took off running, and they're on her. They're looking for her the rest of the movie.
Yeah, they're looking for because that's one of the big the big plots here in our finale. Yeah. So they take after. She runs and hides in a phone booth.
Yep.
And at this point, Ted is
tries
skimming
the phone line again.
He tries the phone line. He's looking for some companionship.
Yep.
He calls the phone line, and for no reason, there's no explanation of this. It's never explained later in the film or anything like that.
Yep.
He calls the phone sex line. The camera like trails the phone line, and then just for whatever reason, the phone rings to the telephone booth that Nancy's hiding in.
Yeah. For no reason. I was hoping that there would be an explanation, but it doesn't. Nope. No explanation.
No explanation whatsoever. Just some weird magic of fate, I guess. I don't know.
Yep.
And
power of love. Sorry. Anyway.
he calls her and they talk. He tells her about how lonely he is and stuff. And for whatever reason, she decides he basically invites her over, and she's like, I guess well, I don't have anything else to do, so she decides she's going to come and
okay. So
see Ted.
Does he still think she was on the party line, or?
I believe so.
Yeah,
I believe so. If not,
there doesn't seem to be much of a like miscommunication thing. You know what I mean? It doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like there was any slapsticky. Like, wait a second, you're not a
right. Yeah,
yeah.
Didn't seem to be. Not sure.
I don't think there's anything like that in this. Not that I can recall.
Yeah. So she goes over. She
comes over.
Yeah, sneaks her way to his apartment. And when she gets to the door, I don't know if she can hear him or not yet, but she knocks on it and he immediately opens the door. I think he was going through another delusion.
Yeah.
And as soon as she knocks on the door, he just throws it open and he's in full tinfoil armor. She drops the potted plant.
Oh.
The pot breaks and now there's dirt all over the floor in this poor plant. And he snaps out of it relatively easily, and they have some sort of conversation, and he goes back, and I was like, what the fuck is this guy looking for? He pulls out a crock pot, comes out, and they stand talking in the doorway for a while, and he's just holding this crock pot. And I'm like, why? Why is he holding this crock pot? And then he stoops down, and he picks up this potted plant, and all the dirt, and scoops it into the crock pot. And that, Tyler, is the moment I became invested in what was going to happen with this plant.
Oh, that's the meet cute. It was the meet cute. The classic meet cute.
Yeah, I was like, this plant means something in this movie. I just know.
See, the review I watched didn't even really cover the potted plant.
They left out the potted plant. Wow. Well, to me, that was one of the more important aspects of this movie. I don't think this movie would have been as good as it is without it. It's an important theme.
Interesting.
Thing. Yeah.
Well, now this all new to me then.
Yeah, and this is the last time we see the potted plant for a while.
Oh, you bastard! I thought we were getting something here.
It makes
I was like,
to the end. I think it's like the last shot in the movie.
I thought we were getting some interesting shit here.
We are. Bastard. Don't worry. We just don't see it for a while now. Not any significant plot points for it.
Okay.
Yeah. So don't worry.
That is a fun little thing I decided to do with the
It's what I latched onto because it can't speak Spanish either. So. So then they get into their apartment and they start getting to know each other. And it was kind of neat, one thing that was cool about watching this without knowing what they were talking about was watching what they were watching their body language and the shots. Because at first they are standing across the room from each other having a conversation. She eventually does set down the potted plant and kind of relax more, have a seat. He goes and gets food. He did stock up for his seclusion. He had all these big cans of shit and stuff in his cupboards, and he pulls out this weird, I don't know if it was cookie or a meat stick cut into slices, but it was something that they kind of awkwardly eat as they kind of start moving closer to each other in the set through their conversation. And then watching them end up sitting next to each other on the couch. So that was kind of cool watching. It was just in the blocking and the framing that I got to kind of see them get closer as they talked. So that was neat. That's an interesting.
She's getting weirded out a little bit.
Is she?
And,
okay,
a little bit. She's starting to notice all the quirks and the apartment and all that shit.
I keep wanting to call it styrofoam. It's aluminum foil all over the walls, and
this is where it's revealed that they both had this mutual love for poetry. And,
that must be where they started moving closer because it was awkward at first, and then it got a little more comfortable. Cool. So
Ted reveals that he is a poet, and I think he recites a poem to her. It's like really bad. It's something like,
"Oh no,
I don't
what
know.
was it?
I love you so bad, and if you take me now, I won't act like my dad or something like some shit like that. It's like it's a very very weird like off the cuff poem that he comes with, and he tells her like, oh, I just made it off the top of my head, and she's like, wow, it's great. But he finally does show her like some of his actual poetry. I don't know what it said because the review I watched it and didn't go over it. But she reads his poetry, and I guess it's like super dark, but it's like really good. Like she tells him like it's really dark, but it's really good.
Oh.
And they kind of like bond over that, and then they take a seat on the couch. And this, unfortunately, because Hank is trying to be normal, he's trying to this is the first human interaction he's had in a while.
Yeah, I don't think he wants her to know that he's crazy.
Yeah, he doesn't want to know he's crazy. Then like all of a sudden he gets hit with this like vision of the surgeon, played by Bruce Campbell, and the surgeon's trying to inject him with this giant needle.
Yep,
and trigger some kind of fit, and he knocks out Nancy.
Yeah, he punches her out.
Yep.
Oh my God, just clocks her. Oh. And he's like, oh no. Oh no. And he like stands up like, oh God, I fucked it up.
And he tries to revive her, and this is where she has a little hallucination.
Yeah.
She hallucinates that he's the gang leader.
Yeah. And so she pulls the gun on him.
Yeah.
And he has to
almost
dodge it. Yeah, he has to like dodge out of the way because she shoots out one of his or shoots a hole in one of his windows.
Right.
And then she kind of comes to a second later, and he's like, oh God, oh fuck. And then it looks like she decides it's time to leave. He tries to talk her out of it, but she grabs her plant. She has her plant now. So she's, I think, got his crock pot now. She's like, I've got to go. And it sounds like he's trying to keep her wants her to stay.
Yeah, he wants her to stay, but she runs off into the night.
And he can't get past his door because of his
Can't get
delusions.
past his door.
Yeah. The door like shocks his hand or something, and he can't leave.
Yeah, it does something weird like that. And this is where, now it's our character has to, this is the big turning point for Ted.
Yeah, Mr. Hank.
Is he gonna continue being this agoraphobic, or is he going to go after this girl who I guess he's having feelings for?
He's made a connection with. Yeah,
made a connection with the first connection he's had in a while,
at least 6 months. Yeah, at least. Not to mention probably the time it took for him to devolve to that point. He probably did cut himself off from people sooner than that.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. So
he armors up.
Suits up.
I love this. One of the little things I like about it is like, so he armors up. It's this big knight in shining armor moment. Like that's what it is. It's I like the analogy. It's the knight in shining armor. He's going to save the girl. He crafts a suit of tinfoil, an armor suit of tinfoil, and I liked it because it's just one of those weird little things I thought was interesting. Is he when he moves, it makes a sound of like armor, like from the movies when
that
clanch.
You're right,
it makes that noise, but he's in tinfoil. But I thought that was
but it's how he's hearing it because that's his armor to face the world with.
Yeah, he's suited up and he's ready to face the horrors of the world,
the outside world. Yes.
And he enters his hallway, and outside and waiting for him is a whole team of doctors.
Oh God. Yep.
And he's not being deterred. He's found his reason to leave, and he's not going to be deterred by these doctors. So he takes his baseball bat. Like I like it because it's just a cool little thing. It's like knight shining armor. He's got a sword. It's a baseball bat.
Shing. Yeah.
Yeah. He draws his sword and just takes out all the doctors. Just takes them out.
Fighting his fear, literally.
Yep. Yeah, he takes them all out, and then he's going to hits the streets.
Gets outside.
Now at this time, isn't Nancy has she already been accosted by the gang again? Or the gang?
Yeah, I think she's on her own for a little bit, but the gang finds her, and then she's running into trouble. She's also avoiding the police, so I think by a certain point,
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but she was like hiding from the cops.
I must have missed that part.
But
we will probably miss things.
Yeah, but she's got her running with the gang. This is where Knight in Shining Armor shows up, right?
Well, first he's having visions of like the earth splitting open under his feet and things like that.
Yeah.
His visions are kind of intensifying, and they eventually manifest into a giant spider.
Yes, giant spider that is it's actually like something dangerous. It's a fucking dump truck or a garbage truck. Yeah. It's like actually chasing. I don't know why it's really chasing him. I have no idea.
I don't know either. I didn't really go into it on the review I watched. But he's being pursued by this giant spider. What does he have to fight it, or what does he do? Like,
yeah, he was gonna fight it, but he ends up just fucking running for it. And okay, so it kind of the chaos of the outside accumulates to the point where she's actually alone in an alleyway with the gun in her mouth. So this was a little weird. Like, she's just given up. She's got the gun in her mouth, and then she hears Hank in the distance, and he's being fucking chased by this garbage truck that he thinks is a spider. And she shoots the spider. Like, to him,
that's right.
She's the one who slays the monster. So he's the knight in shining armor, but really she's the one who saves him.
So she hits the garbage truck, and that like kind of like breaks him from his delusion.
Yes. And
he realizes there was nothing there, and
something happens from there that kind of splits them up, or maybe that's when I think one of the gang dudes shows up again.
Yeah, the lead of the gang shows up, and now
it's time for Hank to fight for her. You know, she fought off his delusion. He's gonna fight off her very real problem. Because this dude's attacking her. And it was kind of neat watching, because he must have said like, "Hey," or something. Like the dude starts swinging his knife blade around like all fancy like as he's walking towards Hank, and Hank starts swinging his bat around in the same kind of way as he's walking towards him too. And it looks like a badass moment is about to occur, but then he gets seized by his delusion again, and it keeps kind of interrupting their fight. So he's kind of getting his ass kicked as it goes along. It was pretty good. He's such a good fucking comedy actor. Jesus Christ.
I know.
He's so great. Like,
I noticed too, I was kind of looking at Ted's stuff, just kind of prepping for this and everything. Like, he's in, because I know I'm not particularly a fan of it, or I'm not up on it, but you guys are. He's in Supernatural for like an episode. He has an episode of Supernatural.
Ted's in Supernatural?
Yeah, he has an episode in Supernatural.
How did I miss that?
It's one episode. I mean, it's not like he's not a recurring role or anything like that. But he's in Supernatural. In an episode of it. Because I was like, man, I wonder if Ben recognized Ted. I know Ben is super into Supernatural.
Yeah, and I really liked it for a very long time, although I haven't seen the last season.
Yeah, he's in it at some point. Just one episode.
Wishful Thinking, season 4. Yeah. It's starting to ring a bell. I'm sure I've seen it, so I must have seen it. Oh, right. The wishing well thing, or the wishing coin stuff. Okay. Yeah, that's right. He's always a lonely guy. That's right. Oh, okay. He had to like sacrifice the girl of his dreams that he wished for in order to fix everything that episode. So he's always lonely trying to find love. It's tragic, really.
That episode. I'd like to hear Ben's take on that.
Yeah.
Although Ben has cleared up that he doesn't hate Ted Raimi. He just hates Man, the Shooting Break.
Yeah, it just soured him on Raimi on Ted. Poor Ted.
But so we get the big square off here between Ted and the gang leader, and he defeats him with a big triumphant whack to the head with the baseball bat.
Yes.
And there's a funny little bit here. He hits him so hard with the baseball bat that it like cracks the bat.
Yes.
Like, pieces go everywhere. Luckily, this scene was in the review I watched. They had it in English. So you see a chunk of this wood flying through the air, and then it just cuts to like some random location.
Yep.
And Ray, played by Bruce, is just like he's like, huh? He's like, man, I wonder what Nancy's up to. And then just whack back of the head, just knocks him out.
Hit by the piece of
wood. So
I love it. Oh, that was
he takes out not only the gang leader, but he also takes out Ray inadvertently.
Just inadvertently. Oh, that was great. And the moment that led to that was pretty good too, because he actually it looks like he faked a delusion to get the guy off guard. That's what I think happened. So the guy was like, had him dead to rights, and Ted grabs his throat like the doctor, the surgeon is strangling him. And the guy, steps in closer, nice and confident. And then like he suddenly drops the act, stomps on the guy's toe, whacks him in the head, and then tees him up for that other whack that ends up taking out Ray.
Yeah, the
so I thought that was kind of cool. It looked like he looked like he
was
faked
utilizing his negatives.
Yeah, his perception of weakness to this guy, or because the guy had clearly seen him get fucked up by the delusion a couple of times now,
right?
Couple of times now. So I thought that was clever, and then the Ray thing was hilarious. I loved that. and
then Nancy and Ted, seemingly,
they get together.
There's a funny little line here, because this was luckily a portion I got to see in English.
Oh, good.
He's helping her up, and they're kind of they're established that they like each other, things like that. And Ted tells her hey, I'd like to take you to my brother's wedding in Michigan. Yeah, in Michigan, the Raimis, his brother Sam, a little thing there. Little nods. So that's the end.
That's where
presumably they're
together.
Nancy
well, they were at the wedding together. We saw the wedding scene at first.
Right. Yeah, there's a wedding.
At fucking first, I thought it was theirs. I was like, oh, that's either a time skip or really quickly. But then I saw her dress wasn't a bridal dress, so I kind of put it together. So that was cool. It was his brother's wedding that they were at. And he was outside.
His brother's wedding.
Outside, no problem. It was nice.
Happily ever after.
No, it was very sweet. That was at the end of the day.
It was
a romantic comedy. Very sweet. A good Valentine's Day watch, even if it is in Spanish.
Yeah, if you can find it in English. But man, it is a fucking difficult thing to find.
Yeah.
Now we've got to try to figure out how we're going to rate this.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Our next segment.
We are. I think we can still give it a groovy or not groovy rating because we've got some Bruce Campbell in here, and you enlightened me a little bit. For me, it was going to be kind of we'll get into it in our next segment, won't we?
Let's go ahead and get on into it.
Good. Bad. I'm the guy with the gun.
We have just spent our Valentine's Day evening watching Lunatics, a love story starring Ted Raimi and Bruce Campbell in an odd flip of the roles where Ted is the main guy. He's the star. And Bruce is relegated to playing second fiddle in this one. So a very rare flip here.
Indeed.
Man, so it's going to be a little difficult just because of the way we had to watch it. We know that Bruce has two roles in this movie.
Yes.
He is the maniacal surgeon who haunts the nightmares of Ray, aka Ted Raimi. And he's also the douchey asshole boyfriend. Wait, did we get the names mixed up?
Ray is Bruce Campbell. Hank is Ted Raimi.
I've been calling Ted Ray this whole time.
I think overall we've been fine. I think.
Okay.
Maybe. We'll see.
Michael, go back and every time I say Ray, cut in here. I'll say it. Hank, go and cut that in.
So
yeah, it should be pretty simple. Just go through it listen every time I say Ray, just insert that clip me saying Hank. You'll get it.
Yeah, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Shouldn't take you more than 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah. That's what we're not paying you for.
Yeah, exactly. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We'd like to start making money someday.
Yes.
Anyway,
at CultTalkNet.
Join the talk.
So we have two Bruces here. Luckily, with the review I watched, I got to see some of the portions of Bruce in English.
Oh, nice,
because it does make a world of difference. Not only seeing the man, but hearing the man.
No clue that was Bruce at all. No idea. It was just a random surgeon that popped up. I didn't even know it was the same guy all the time. I was just like, oh, a surgeon. Oh, another surgeon. I called him a doctor. I had no idea. So that's pretty enlightening. That actually bumps up this movie's chances for me because that's actually really cool. I got sneaky Bruce. I got more Bruce than I actually thought I did.
Yeah.
So that's a nice surprise. Still not his voice, but
Yep.
So, are we still going to go with the groovy not groovy on this one?
We'll go groovy not groovy. If I had to say, I'll go and kick it off.
All right.
I'm gonna give it a groovy. I really enjoyed him as the maniacal surgeon.
Yeah.
And the Ray thing, I wasn't a big fan, but I did enjoy him as the surgeon. Yeah. And I think his performance, it was a small role, but I think it did, help us. It did improve the movie. Not by that much, because the movie, from what I could see and what I've watched and heard through these reviews, it looks like a very good movie. I really would like to watch it.
In English, and be able to understand it just because we don't speak Spanish. I'd like to see it with the dialogue now.
Yeah, I would. I really would. And so this movie only got released on VHS and then DVD one time in Australia. I'd love for like someone like Scream Factory or Blue Underground, like these companies. That's a big thing right now. There's these companies out there that will take lesser known movies and remaster them, put them out on Blu-ray. Like Scream Factory and Blue Underground. I think Vestron Video does it now. But there's these companies that do that. I'd love for one of those companies to take this and put it out on Blu-ray because I really would be interested in seeing it.
I would watch this again. So yeah, I'm with you.
I'm gonna give it a groovy. I'm gonna give it a groovy.
Ooh, all right. So I won't keep anyone in suspense. I'm going to actually go ahead and do the same thing. I've always been a proponent of, it's not the amount of Campbell in the movie that makes or breaks good Campbell to me. You know what I mean? Usually he can be underutilized. That's a little different. So he had a smaller role in this, a bigger role than I thought then, to be honest. So I'm kind of going back and thinking about like just him and Ted on set together playing out those scenes just seems so fun to me. You know what I mean? Just kind of because that was probably how they like fucking hung out. You know what I mean? Just play fighting and shit like that and goofing off and stuff. So back in the day. So knowing that those two were on set playing out these gags and doing this, physical comedy / horror, really, those were some scary parts too.
Yeah.
It makes it so much more charming to me. So that definitely gives it a bump up. And then douche Bruce Ray was actually pretty fun. I remember looking at him and just kind of being like, because he was hot then. That's some primo. Yeah. That's some primo Bruce. So he really does have the like narcissistic pretty boy who can just kind of get anyone he wants, vibe going on. I picked up on that right away. So his acting chops at that point were just so on par. So it's definitely a groovy from me.
Yeah, this was great. I just can't get over how difficult it is to find this movie.
I know.
But man, it looks
Make
so
it more
damn
available.
fun.
Yeah,
it looks so damn fun.
Yeah, more people need to see this.
Yes, they really do. I want to see it, and
I want to see it again.
Its full glory. Yeah, I want to see it in its full glory. In English. And, I can enjoy Ted and Bruce coming through on it, other than whoever dubbed it. But
otherwise, I'm gonna have to learn Spanish because I'm gonna have to watch this again, one way or another. So I might have to take a few months to learn Spanish. A few months, yeah.
Or Lunatics
just to watch Lunatics: A Love Story. I will learn a second
That's
language.
Dedication, yeah.
I took some in high school. I got barely passing grades. I can do this. Lunatics. I don't even remember that much Spanish to be able to say the title in Spanish. Never mind. Okay.
Oh, what a fun one!
Why am I doing
this was so fun though.
I know. I actually really did enjoy this. This is the kind of like low budget movie that I like to see. You know what I mean? It was a lot of fun. The metaphor was really like it was buried in the comedy. You know what I mean? It wasn't so you got to like clearly anxiety, agoraphobia, wanting to reach out but not having the confidence in yourself to be able to do so. Like those themes were in there and they were really well played and stuff, but done in such a funny way. You know what I mean? I could just tell. It was, really interesting watching everything playing out in the body language and the facial expressions. This was that in and of itself was pretty neat too. Just watching a movie in another language without we didn't have subtitles as an option either.
No, we didn't. There was no way for us to know what was going on.
No subtitles. So it just wasn't an option. So it was I had to watch this story play out all through the camera angles, the body language, and the blocking. So that was I love that you watched the whole thing.
I love that you watched the whole thing in Spanish.
This
It's like a telenovela.
Yeah.
Oh, mi amore.
Mi amore.
Mi
Lo siento.
Yeah.
Mi amos. Oh God, why are there spiders?
Yeah. Oh man, I was watching this. It's like, man, I'm glad we didn't have Ian watch this. I did not know that this had.
The
amount of spidery stuff in it. I was like, oh man, I'm glad we didn't get Ian on this because I would not have. I had no idea that was.
I don't know if we should
such
talk
a big
about
part of the
that.
movie. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
man.
spiders were a massive part of this movie, and I was not fucking expecting that. Stop motion spiders.
Yeah, that was such a cool effect too. So so this was Lunatics: A Love Story, man. It's a great, if you guys can, if you have the ability, like,
if you can
seek
find
it out.
Yeah, it's worth the treasure hunt.
If anyone out there knows of a streamable option where you can watch it in English, like, let us know.
Yeah.
Hit us up on Instagram or Facebook at Cult Talk Net.
Cult Talk Net.
Because I would love to watch it.
Yes.
In its full glory and, like, really taking the context of things as a whole. But this is a fun little Valentine's Day watch. We got to watch a nice little offbeat, very Raimi, this is very Raimi family Valentine's, because that's what I kind of like to call them. This is Raimi family. That's what it is. Yeah, Sam, Ted, Bruce, Josh Becker, like all these people that we've watched over this, like over the course of Call to Campbell. You know, Rip Taylor, all these, like they're just Rip Tapper. Sorry, Rip Tapper. These guys just work together, and they all have this very unique style, and they all know how to play with each other and make things work. It's anytime you have this group together, like we've seen it a number of times with shit like Alien Apocalypse, they made that work. Yes, they did. Without Josh and Bruce, that would have literally been a movie that got played on Sci-Fi one time. Yep. Probably got released in like one of those DVD multi-packs you see at Walmart. Yep. And no one would even talk about it. If even that. It probably wouldn't even went that far. Yeah. But with those guys involved, they were able to give this flavor and this voice and make it entertaining to where it's by all means, it's a cult classic in a lot of people's eyes. And in our eyes, it's a groovy film.
It is certified groovy. Oh, I love that. The Raimi family. It's just, it makes me happy that these people exist. It always has. That's one thing I'm taking away from this podcast, no matter what. I'm just happy these people are with us. Giving us content and movies.
Yep. They're
sharing
really
their imaginations with us.
They are. And it's so fun to see these movies. And, I was not really too excited about watching this because but once I found out that it's Raimi family movie, I guess I'll keep that going. Yeah. It became just one of those movies that you can just see all the little cues and the flavor and stuff, and it is really enjoyable.
the kind of commonalities, like you can see their I want to say personalities just kind of bleeding through into this stuff, and it's always really cool to watch. And this movie was, I wasn't looking forward to this one terribly much myself, but I'm definitely glad that I watched the whole thing, even if it wasn't Spanish.
Well, we did it.
We did it.
For the Campbellites. For the love of the Campbellites.
For the love of the Campbellites.
That's how much we love our fans.
Go out and find it, people. It is worth the treasure hunt.
We wanted to make sure that you guys got a nice a little gift for Valentine's Day from all of us here at Cult Talk Net. And this is it. Lunatics: A Love Story. If you can, seek it out and find it and watch it. And let us know if you're able to find a good English version of it. I would love to watch it. Eric and I would love to watch it as well. So but I think we can we don't want to keep you guys too long, because I know everyone here's probably got some very lavish plans for Valentine's Day, and
so we're gonna let
your significant other. You're ready to crawl into bed and have yourself a very groovy evening. Yeah. Make love the Bruce Campbell way.
Make love the Bruce Campbell way. There it is. That's from us to you this Valentine's Day.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, go back to the beginning of this podcast episode and start it over for that very special time of your evening.
Yeah, and exactly. Yeah. We'll just serenade you.
We'll through the whole night.
Keep the mood up. I think this groovy. Is a very good podcast to listen to when you're wanting to get that significant other loosened up in the mood, just hearing our voices, absolutely, talking about Bruce Campbell. No better way to set the mood. So absolutely, we hope everyone here has a groovy Valentine's Day. Lunatics: A Love Story, our second certified groovy film of the year. We're kicking things off pretty well for 2022.
Yeah, we're very very upbeat kickoffs. So,
and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, so actually no, this would be our third, because Blaze of Glory is coming out the week prior to this. Oh. So I don't know. This could be our third or fourth, our second or third. I don't know.
Okay.
just full disclosure, we didn't actually record this on Valentine's Day. Didn't mean to break the veil.
We broke the fourth wall with that one. It's not currently Valentine's Day.
But this will be, I believe, the last episode. Or this is we're now moving to bi-weekly for Call to Campbell.
Yep. So every other week now.
Every other week. So you guys won't have, listen to this next week. Let's do it again.
Yeah. Fill in the space. Spend your evening with us next week on this episode once again. Just to keep yourself
put it on next week, and then you can think about all the memories from the week from Valentine's Day. You can kind of
there we go.
Let all the week prior flood back to you, good, bad, or indifferent.
Just tie us to all of your romantic memories. Why not? Yeah,
exactly. So with that, we'll let you guys go. Enjoy your Valentine's Day from all of us here at Cult Talk Net, and we will see you guys here in not next week, but the week after. We'll have something for you guys. To sink your teeth into. And make sure you go listen to Cult Talk Weird Shit. Comes out every other Wednesday at this time.
Yep.
And Cult of Lore, which is now coming out twice a month, first and third Thursdays of every month.
Because there's just so much to talk about.
There's a lot
to keep
it
down to one. So, there you go.
Talk.
We did this for you guys.
Make sure you keep up with us on our social medias, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, at
TikTok,
Cult Talk Net, Twitter. Mike's over on Twitter for us. And we will give you guys a due. And as always,
stay groovy.
Hail to the king, baby.
That's it? That's the best you got?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.